nuanced, at least from a Catholic position. Is that showing up in any of the conversations you're having in Colombia?
Not so far. I mean, a little bit, but it's not really influential. You know, they choose what to listen to from the Pope, from the Francis Pope. But I think at the same time, I want to share this because I think it's an anecdote that is interesting in this religious debate with this issue. So, of course, you know, nobody, or a little bit less people in Colombia dare to say that they are defending discrimination in the debate. No, they're not there to say that. So they start using the argument when we get closer to the marriage debate and adoption debate. No, we're not against discrimination. We're not discriminating people. We respect everybody. We love everybody. We want to protect children and family. That's their argument. And what was nice of that is that the Constitutional Court sort of give them the reason and say, yes, by the Colombian Constitution, the children's rights prevails over anybody else's rights. And one of the rights of the children is to have a family, regardless of the sexual orientation of the family. So we're going to protect the right of the children to have family, and that's why you can have adoption. In fact, as you know, to the best of my knowledge, we are the only country now that get first adoption than marriage, which is a little bit crazy. But we got it, and we got it because they push forward this argument. We're not discriminating anybody. We are protecting children. And the Constitutional Court in Colombia said, you're right, we're going to protect the children, so we're going to allow adoption regardless of the sexual orientation of the family. So now they come to the second argument, which is the family. And so the Constitutional Court is asking, okay, yes, family is protected by the Constitution in Colombia. The point is, which kind of family are you talking about? Because you're talking about as if the Bible family is the family in Colombia, which is not, according to official, research and polls or whatever. We have more than 25 different kinds of families in Colombia. So what the Constitutional Court is saying now is, guess what? All 25 or 30 or 40 or 50 kind of families that can exist in Colombia will have equal protection. So they are not being able to pursue their case in legal terms. They will try to pursue it, and they are trying hard to pursue it in the more open debate and the political scenario.
Right, well, let's have some questions from the audience. Who would like to kick us off right in the middle there? Do say who you are.
Hi, this is a question for Senator López.
You just say who you are.
And I'm Javier Barrientos with Biogen. So two questions. Earlier today we heard about this notion of expanding LGBT rights around the world and the cautions around cultural imperialism. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as you engage with partners outside Colombia. And the other one is, flip side of that, have you thought about the Colombian diaspora, and have you engaged with them? And is Diverse Colombia working with them at all?
So, please.
Well, as working with the diaspora, I think that's something we have to explore and use more. I don't think we have get as much network globally as we can, and we need to reach out both to the Colombian diaspora and to many other people, such as people in this room, that can help us a lot in this fight. And about imperialism, well, if democracy is imperialism, if human rights is imperialism, let's welcome imperialism. I mean, we need to use every tool in every single part of the world to protect human rights, basic human rights. And the fact is we live in a world in which half of the countries that sit in the United Nations have no sense of democracy and human rights protection whatsoever. So it's a hard work to do, but we need to do it. And I think we shouldn't be stopped for such kind of prejudice either.
At the back there.
Good morning, Jonathan Lovitz with the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. Senator Lopez, earlier today, Randy Barry was talking about chambers of commerce globally and how they can affect local change at that intersection of politics and business. The NGLCC affiliate in Colombia is one of the strongest in the world, and I'm curious what you can tell us about how the local change supporting LGBT small businesses as parts of supply chains in your region, and how that attracts multinational corporations who also help then further develop more new LGBT-owned businesses in the region, is helping create a stronger economy that flows across borders and across some of the political and and religious divides that have torn apart the region in some places?
Well, to be honest with you, I think that's something we need to explore more. I mean, I'm sure that we have a lot more support in the business community than the one has been expressed openly so far. So I would say the Chamber of Commerce, the American Chamber of Commerce in Bogota, or the LGBT Chamber of Commerce in Bogota, they are trying to, make this case and bring people out. And I know, for example, for 2016 LGBT parade, national parade, we will invite, we're working on inviting different companies, both national and multinational companies set up in Colombia, to bring and to be with us in this national parade and to make our case with us. But I don't think this is so far an issue that is key in the political debate or in the results that we have had. So that's clearly a new camp of action that we need to work with.
Margaret, and in particular, one of the themes that comes up time and time again in America is, you can now get married as an LGBT person, but you can be fired in half the country for being gay and thrown out of your home and so forth. Do you see any prospect of that changing with the Republican Congress?
You might be, this may surprise you, but one of the things that our organization does is we lobby on the Hill. And one of the things we've seen in the last 2 years is because there have been test votes that come up that are, as you know, votes come up and people have an opportunity to go on the record to say, to take a vote that is in favor of LGBT freedom, if it's on, Social Security benefits for military spouses or some kind of recognition of LGBT rights. 18 U.S. senators on the Republican side have taken pro-freedom votes, and more than 70 members of the House of Representatives on the Republican side have taken pro-LGBT votes. And what we're trying to do is demonstrate that there is a critical mass of votes on the Republican side that, paired with Democratic votes, would support a federal legislation for comprehensive non-discrimination. And ultimately, comprehensive non-discrimination, which is the end game here in the United States for LGBT people in terms of full political freedom, that won't happen unless the Republican House of Representatives is willing to move the bill. It has to come through leadership, right? So Speaker Ryan, and they have to be willing to move a bill. And I don't think it's a pipe dream to hope that could happen. He is more amenable to it than Speaker Boehner was. I think it would take a really, there was a hope